Good morning, good morning. Mauricio Garcia, once again here at another Conquistador Podcast. I want to thank you for being here because you're not, letting other outlets, other channels just give you more of the same. Why would you want to go to a place where they give you more of the same when you have this space where we talk about the real secrets that are going to help you go from where you are today to where you want to go? Today, one of the topics I have always wanted to cover with my mentor, which is what's the fastest way to become a millionaire? I know a lot of us are looking for ways to improve our lives, and even though money is not all, it does buy you a lot of things. But we're going to talk about what is the fastest ways to become a millionaire. Hubert, how are you? Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you, buddy. Glad to be here.
Welcome to your show.
Well, great to be here together with you, buddy. A great subject you got there, and we'll jump in when you're ready.
Yeah, well, we're ready. What's the best way? What's the best angle to really start digesting this topic? Because to a lot of people, it may sound like, hey, when you talk about how to become a millionaire, I know that most people, if not everybody that is listening to this podcast, is on a journey to do just that because they want to better their lives and they want to better their family's lifestyle, right? And so we got to find the right vehicle. And you've obviously made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars and built billion-dollar companies. So who better to listen to, who has the authority, the moral authority to really share, what is the way to do that, the best way to do that?
Well, first of all, just there's several things we'll need to unpack there.
Yeah.
First of all, there's one way of looking at being a millionaire, which I think is the wrong way, but it's a great start. Is if you can go out and make at least $1 million of commission profit into your business. That's sort of that's $1 million. Mm-hmm. You can say you're a millionaire when you do that, but then you got to go live off of it, run your business off of it. By the time you get through netting it out, you're certainly not a millionaire anymore just because you've earned $1 million. To me, if you were to look at sort of the Forbes definition of a billionaire, is someone who's got $1 million of passive income coming in, regardless of what they do with their business. That's coming in. It's just net profit to them. So that means that you probably need to be making $10 million. Have $10 million of actual investment of money that you've made, put away, and if it could return you a 10% compound interest, and that would be giving you whatever it is. It'd be giving you a monthly income or an annual income of enough to be a millionaire. $1 million worth of annual income off of the investment that you've got. That's how I would shoot for that kind of millionaire than the other, because then you really got a lot of money and making it how you're building it bigger. But the fastest way to even get into either one of those levels is Napoleon Hill says in his book Think and Grow Rich. He gives you a simple formula. He says, find one and do exactly what they did to get there. Now that's a great set of instructions, not so easily achieved, because number one, it's fairly difficult to go find one that you can have access to. Mm-hmm. You can find one that's duplicatable. There's a lot of things you can go see on the internet and people you can talk to and you can read their books. And it's entertaining, it's intriguing. It's like us reading about heroes. We can't ever become one, but it's great to read about heroes. It's good entertainment. It's great to watch a TV show about a hero. It's great to watch an NFL superstar or a superstar basketball player. Yeah, it's great entertainment, but we can't ever become one. And so for most people, they will ever become one. So the key is to find someplace where you can find somebody that's got a duplicatable system. Somebody's got a master copy that's worth duplicating, that can be duplicated, that can fit the most people, give the most people the chance to do it, and is truly can be transferred to you, and that you can build with. So that's one of the first things you kind of got to do is find that person, find that model. That you can copy.
Would you say is a little bit more difficult today? Maybe I could be wrong, But there's a lot of self-proclaimed gurus on the internet right now. All you got to do is go on social media, and you'll find at least a dozen gurus that have never really built anything, but somehow they came across a concept that they'll sell. And a lot of people are following into that trap. So what makes really somebody, I guess we have one. I mean, right here. If I knew for a fact that I was getting mentored by somebody who's built a couple multi-billion-dollar companies, well, what more do you need? But there's a lot of people just following the wrong gurus, in my opinion, out there because of how social media has made it very easy for anybody to really, self-proclaim they are the gurus to follow.
That's right. It's almost like politics, Anybody, this day and age, you can say anything, and it gets published on in print or on the internet somewhere, and enough people out there are going to not know any different. They're going to follow whatever they hear until they learn the hard way. They've leaned their ladder against the wrong wall. They've listened to the wrong person. They've voted for the wrong person. I mean, all of that is so easy. It's much more difficult today with the internet. The internet's a great thing, but the negatives of it is that it is too many shiny objects out there, and most people can't. If there was just one, it's hard enough to find one to choose. Now they got to look and listen to all these people. To me, I would tell you this: I would double check. I would double check whoever you're seeing. Make sure that you can verify that what they're telling you that they're going to show you how to do, that they can show you the fruits of their labor. They can show you that they've built something that produces that kind of income for a bunch of people, not just for themselves, but for a lot of people, and follow that. Most of them don't. Most of them, just like you said, they copy a little bit here and a little bit there, and it sounds very similar, and they've got a bunch of things going, and you don't know. But anybody want to follow me, all they got to go do is just look up and see how big A.O. Williams became as it became the Primerica Financial Services Company. It's listed out there and traded today, a $6 billion plus market cap company. You go look at World Marketing Alliance, which we built as the second iteration of that, the second part of the trilogy, and it sits out there as World Financial Group today, and it's a $2 or $3 trillion deal, part of the big Aegon world. And you look at HGI today, we're doing what we're doing. We're much in demand by a lot of companies that are looking at us, wanting to know how in the world we've done what we've done, and a lot of people joining us. So, your experience is the key to greatness. So follow somebody that's got the experience of producing the success, especially if we're talking about how to become a millionaire. Find somebody that has produced lots of millionaires. Don't just go find a millionaire. This is the key. Don't just go find a millionaire or someone who says he's a millionaire. Find one that has produced lots of millionaires, and that's a pretty good indication that they have a system, they have something that's duplicatable, something that's transferable, and that they can go out there and help you become a millionaire too. If they've never produced any real millionaires, that talk won't get you there, and you won't find any system that I know of out there that has had more people becoming truly millionaires in our business and multimillionaires. And we've got 2 or 3 in our past that I think have the potential to become billionaires off the investments that they've made. Not only have they been able to make $152 and $300 million of commissions over a sustained period of time, but they've been able to invest it properly, and probably a billionaire out of it. I don't know anybody else that can show you that, but we can.
No, that's massive. That's massive track record. Yeah, undeniable.
Right. So anyway, that's the key, guys. The key though is to find something that you've got access to. The whole secret to my success, if you want to know a secret, and I want everybody to know my secrets, because I don't really have any secrets, because I try to tell everybody. I put them in books, and the whole world knows what I do. But a lot of, in fact, like this book right here, I tell people all the time, like in this book, the fastest way to keep a secret is to put it inside of a book. Even writing books. So what I try to do is I try to put the system on the cover and on the back page. Yeah. And if you don't ever do anything but look at the front and the back of my book, you've almost got our system, our secret right there. But the key is the key is that you've got to have something that somebody can follow. You got to have a simple plan that's duplicatable, that's transferable, that's portable, if you will, and something that people from all walks of life can do, not just a select group of people, not a bunch of people with a certain education or certain whatever. This is something everybody can do. I've seen people from all walks of life follow this system and make it happen. And that's what we've got. We've got something where it puts the law of averages in play for us. And if you're going to make high numbers of income, like $1 million and up, you got to have a system to go from low numbers, average and ordinaryism, to high numbers. You don't have to have a system if you want to stay average and ordinary. That's we're all built in with that system. That's all wired into us at birth. We just have to overcome this default system we have. And that's what systems help us do. It helps us save us from ourselves, and so that's and the other part about this thing is that it's a part of our system where, starting with me and every leader we've got out in our system, we have a vested interest. We have a moral interest to take everything in our hearts and minds and pass it on to our people. We make our leaders have to be accessible. We try to preach them to do overlapping leadership and talking to them by way of Zoom, telephone call, in-person meetings, training, relationships. We're constantly giving them access. So the key is to say, find one. Well, you don't have to work hard to find one here. We present them to you as a part of your opportunity. There's a bunch of millionaires that you can copy. It's our job to be accessible to you and duplicatable to you. We're not in some ivory tower and just hope you can search through the material and maybe you can find out what we did and maybe then you can be like us. That's not our model. Our model is access constantly. And then the other word is exactly. We try to make it as simple as we can, but then it comes down to the person, to putting out the effort to make sure that they copy exactly. Exactly. You've got to be like a Xerox copy machine, one of those old copy machines. When you put something in there, you don't want it to sort of kind of copy it. You want to make sure it copied everything on that paper so that it comes out looking just like the paper that you were putting in the machine. So that's what we try to do. We try to make sure there's access where you can't say, when you join our business, you can't say, well, I never found a millionaire. I didn't find anybody that I could copy. And that won't be your excuse with us. You won't have an excuse. You may try to say, well, something got in my way and I couldn't copy it exactly. Well, that's not even an excuse.
Yeah, that's the one point I wanted to make is that it's the resistance sometimes to just copy, just to submit to a system that the millionaire is telling you. Sometimes the easiest things is the hardest for human beings to do and follow. Maybe because we just have a natural creative nature. But that's what cost most entrepreneurs that fail at copying the millionaire they're trying to follow.
Well, I think you're hitting on probably the greatest point we could kind of end that with is that right there. In our business, you're paid to imitate, not create. Mm-hmm. I tell our people that are joining us, I give them a little warning. I say, listen, you got to put your ego aside here. You got to have a submission to our system if you really want to win. Now, if you want to create, fine. If you want to create, have all the creative thoughts you want to have, because it's going to cost you at least $1 million a thought. So have all those thoughts that you can afford, and you can't really afford any. And so that's a great point right there, Mauricio, is that most people come out of a world where I got a job working for some company, and only if I can create some new ideas will my value be sustained. Mm-hmm. And you're not paid to copy. You're paid to think up something. Well, you're not paid to think up here. Here you're paid to do. The only thinking you need to do is, I think I'm going to copy. I think I'm going to follow. That's the only thinking you need to do here.
And I think the message, the most important thing today is that how do you become a millionaire? Find one and copy. I want to emphasize what you were just saying. Copy exactly what the millionaire that you're following is doing.
It's kind of funny, Mauricio. When we were coming up in grammar school, our teachers and all would look at us, and boy, if anybody tried to look over on somebody else's paper and copy, don't you copy, they'd send you to the principal's office if you copied, kick you out of school if you copy, call your parents if you copy. Right. Well, here we're begging you to copy. and pleading with you to copy.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's why. Not just our nature to be creative, but it maybe goes all the way back to elementary and middle school and whatever. They're teaching us not to copy. Well, now let's copy. Because the fastest way to become a millionaire is to copy a millionaire and copy him or her exactly. So I think the message is there today, Hubert, as we wrap up today's episode. I want to remind everybody that there is an opportunity out there that is like anything you've ever seen. The opportunity is greater than it's ever been before because of demographics and because of what the market is demanding right now. You've got to check out this opportunity. It is the one vehicle that is going to take you from where you are today to where you want to be. I promise you, if you go to hgiopportunity.com, they are the sponsors of the show. Check them out, hgiopportunity.com. And with that, Hubert, as always, thank you so much for the value you add to the listeners, to me. And I can't wait for tomorrow's episode to add yet even more value. Have an awesome day, sir.
Mañana. See you.
Hasta mañana.
Warning, this podcast may change the way you think about business, entrepreneurship, and money forever. The Conquistador Podcast was created for dreamers, entrepreneurs, and leaders who want to conquer their future. To be an epic entrepreneur, you must adopt the right mental paradigms as well as master the art of selling, marketing, and finance.